The post-war slump in cinema-going is ending. Once again, the people of Britain are stepping out into the magic world of the cinema for their entertainment. But today, they're a more discerning public. People now go shopping for their films. Films must be better, not only bigger. Cues like these create trends in filmmaking. A mammoth multi-million-pound industry is built on a queue of people waiting to pay their money at the box office. For this queue, only the best is good enough. A projection room in a modern cinema can contain equipment costing thousands of pounds. The film the projectionist handled so carefully may have cost $1 million to make. Everything is smooth, efficient. Today's films are made for a variety of shapes of screen. Some screens are still almost square, others are wider. And wider. And wider still. Most modern cinemas can easily accommodate a wide screen. It's not a matter of size, but of ratio. In the 1920s, 300 or 400 people would pack in to see films like Coming Through the Rye. Taylor was one of the early silent stars of British films. Here, Miss Taylor and Lord Morrison, chief film censor, see some early experiments of what will eventually be a moving picture museum in London. From the early peep shows for an audience of one, the projection of pictures was a great step forward. This magic lantern of 1850 has a circular colored slide that can rotate and change the scene. These strips of slides illustrate classic stories. But probably the first moving pictures to be seen by an audience of any size were these slides of movement. They would be projected on a lantern like this, known as a biunnial lantern, able to dissolve one slide into another. An early attempt at optical illusion was the thaumatrope. The parrot appears to be inside the cage, but the bird is on one side of the disc and the cage on the other. The praxinoscope came 50 years later in 1877. The series of pictures on a revolving drum, when viewed through a slot, gave the illusion of a moving picture. But the nearest yet to the moving photograph was the mutoscope, the familiar what the butler saw at the end of the pier. The series of photographs are flipped over at speed, giving the impression of moving photographic pictures. Then the photograph. Animated photographs shown on a hand-operated projector similar to this one, which generates its own electricity for illumination. Queen Victoria riding in Hyde Park was an early example of what could be seen. Then, with the coming of the photoplay, motion pictures as an entertainment were just around the corner. In the years following the 1914 war, the stars of the silent screen packed the cinemas. "1925 brought the first full-length color feature, Douglas Fairbanks in The Black Pirate. Then came sound. The silent screen was dead, killed by the talkies overnight. With the jazz singer in 1928 and the singing fool, Owl Jolson had the world at his feet. The talkies swept in the 30s, bringing with them an eruption of cinemas all over Britain. By 1939, there were more than 4,000. Some of them super cinemas seating 3,000 or 4,000 people each. But times and tastes change. Today's new cinemas are more modest in size, more luxurious. Sometimes the cinema will be incorporated into the plans for a new office block. only new cinemas are getting the luxury look. Many of the great picture houses of the 30s are being completely redesigned, redecorated and re-equipped. When today's audiences take an evening out in their local cinema, they expect luxurious surroundings, comfortable seats with plenty of room and a perfect view of the screen. One organisation alone is spending £1 million a year on refurbishing its cinemas. The goal of these vast schemes, this Operation Luxury, is the queue at the box office. Nothing is too much trouble. A brilliant piece of behind-the-scenes organisation is in the actual distribution of films for showing around the country. After close down on a Saturday night, the cases of film are put out by the cinema projectionists ready for collection. These film transport drivers work through any conditions of weather or crisis. Must be collected and delivered between close down on Saturday and opening on Sunday. No mean feat. One centre at London's Park Royal covers more than 800 cinemas in places as far apart as Bournemouth and Norwich. Similar centres operate in every area of the country. But all this goes on unobtrusively behind the scenes, a far cry from the glamour and excitement of an opening night. The familiar faces of the stars are seen. The crowd smile and cheer and whisper, "Isn't he handsome? Isn't she lovely? I've heard she's very good." In the country or the provinces, in the suburbs or in the heart of London's West End, the cinema's magic formula works the same old witchcraft. The house lights dim, the curtains whisper back. The show is on. For 2 or 3 hours, romance, spectacle, laughter and tears hold the audience spellbound. As times and tastes change, so the cinema changes with them. The cues at the box office are a tribute to better films, better entertainment, richness of sound, the beauty of colour, to the sheer sweep and magnitude of the great epic stories. The cues that have come back to the cinemas are a tribute to success.
Now it goes right on to the cutting news is next thing.
Okay.